USA Wrestling has seen unprecedented success in recent years. The talent is as rich as it's ever been. Many of today's stars are already legends. For the first time ever, FloWrestling is counting down the top 100 American wrestlers of all time. To help us in this journey, we're visiting the greatest wrestling museums in the country. Where does your favorite wrestler land? Tune in each week as we get to number 1.
Les Gutches was a physical freak. The 3-time NCAA All-American at Oregon State, was a 2-time national champion, going undefeated in his final 2 college seasons, 1995 and 1996. He would go on to take out 3-time world and Olympic champion Kevin Jackson to make the 1996 Olympic team. He was a 1997 world champion and went on to take a bronze medal at the 1999 World Championships.
You can talk about credentials all you want with Les Gutches, and they're impressive. He owned the quad from 1996 to 1999, but how about this for a statistic? His teammate Chad Renner at Oregon State, who is a weight class below him, also an All-American, said he could only take down Les 1 time per year in practice. If that doesn't tell you how good Les Gutches is, I don't know what does. There's controversy between Lincoln McIlravy and famous country duo Brooks and Dunn. Did McIlravy steal the boot scootin' boogie from Brooks and Dunn, or did Brooks and Dunn steal it from Lincoln McIlravy? If you ask Dan Gable, he will say that Brooks and Dunn stole the move from Lincoln McIlravy. No matter what, McIlravy boot scooted his way to 3 NCAA championships at the University of Iowa, and in his final season for Iowa, McIlravy won an NCAA championship in Dan Gable's swan song, part of the all-time point record at the University of Iowa, a record that stands to this day.
Lincoln McIlravy finished his career as a 3-time NCAA champion, winning in 1997. Just a few months later, he makes the world team in 97. In 98, he's a world bronze medalist. In 99, he's a world silver medalist, and wrapped out his career as an Olympic bronze medalist in 2000. Kerry Collett had an almost seemingly perfect career that was just plagued by controversy and unfortunate events. He was untouchable in high school, never lost a match. We know the story. Wrestling up in age. He wrestled in the Midlands when he was in high school and placed. He went to college, had an amazing career. 2-time NCAA champion, was second another year, third another year. We made a movie about him, but the senior level was where things get a little muddy. Unfortunate events, controversy, call it what you want. Kerry Collett was a 2-time world medalist, 4-time world and Olympic team member, which is a fantastic career, but matches were taken away.
If it wasn't for backroom politics, Kerry Collett, without a doubt, would be a world and Olympic champion, and that's what you should believe.
But let's get one thing straight. Kerry Collett had one of the best careers of an American wrestler ever, and his legacy will live on. Gable Dan Stevenson, named after? Yeah, that guy, the legend, Dan Gable. The name alone could put so much pressure on someone that they wouldn't be able to perform, but Gable Stevenson is a phenom. There's no other way to put it. Since he was a little kid, he's had success. He's won age-level world medals. He's won age-level world titles, several of them. In 2021, he broke through, overtook Nick Gwiazdowski as the #1 heavyweight in the United States of America, earned his spot on the Olympic team, and did what? Yep, went and won a gold medal at the 2021 Olympic Games, taking out Taha Aku and Geno Petriashvili along the way, 2 of the best heavyweights of the last quad. Big guys don't do backflips, but Gable Stevenson's not your typical big guy. He is known for his backflip. He celebrated an NCAA title with a backflip. Is that true? Kyle, did he celebrate an NCAA title with a backflip? Now, what does the future hold for Gable Stevenson? It sure seems like he's gonna put his freestyle wrestling shoes on the shelf for now and hit the WWE. Gable Stevenson just might go on to be a bona fide global superstar. Kendall Cross was your classic Oklahoma State wrestler. Slick, wrestled from the elbow control, from the outside. He was a 3-time All-American for the Cowboys and a 1989 NCAA champion. He was also a 2-time Olympian.
If you judge a career by who someone beat, then Kendall Cross is at the top of the list. When he made the 1992 Olympic team, he had to beat returning world silver medalist Brad Penrith in the best-of-3 finals. Fast forward to 1996, has to beat 2-time world champion Terry Brands in the best-of-3 finals to make the Olympic team, and then goes on to make Olympic gold. But what's interesting about Kendall Cross is that when he needed to make adjustments for the 1996 Olympic trials, he went upper body. He changed his style and started doing more overhooks and started going for the high gut wrenches. What did it do? It yielded an Olympic gold medal in 1996 and landed him on this list of the top 100. Iowa State is known for producing Olympic gold medalists in wrestling. Glenn Brand, Dan Gable, Ben Peterson, Kevin Jackson, Cale Sanderson, and the most recent was Jake Varner. Hailing from California, Jake Varner was on a quest to become one of the all-time great wrestlers. 159 high school wins, 132 pins, and at the 2005 California State Wrestling Championships, he pinned all 6 of his opponents, the only person in California history to accomplish that feat.
Wrestled at Iowa State under Cale Sanderson, he was one of the first proteges to really shine brightly under the tutelage of Cale. He was a 4-time NCAA finalist and a 2-time NCAA champion before making a world team in 2009, making a world team and earning bronze in 2011, and capping things off with a gold medal at the 2012 London Olympics. Jake Varner was Cale Sanderson's first Olympic champ, but certainly not his last.
He is the ultimate sun-kissed kid. Zeke Jones loved to play to the crowd, especially in the United States, and he had some great rivalries with some of the best lightweight wrestlers in U.S. history.
Zeke Jones was a 3-time NCAA All-American at Arizona State University and was part of their NCAA championship team in 1988. But freestyle is where Zeke really excelled and had a lot of success. From 1989 to 1997, Zeke Jones made 8 World and Olympic teams, bringing home 3 World and Olympic medals. The pinnacle of his career was 1991. Zeke Jones brought home a gold medal from the World Championships in Bulgaria.
When it comes down to it, Zeke Jones did it his way. He may not look like the most imposing wrestler in the world, but what he did at the 1991 World Championships in Varna, Bulgaria should be remembered forever. He beat 8-time World and Olympic champion Valentin Jordanov, laced him up, and won his only world championship in 1991. No one's done it quite like Zeke Jones. Dennis Hall is one bad dude. We can talk about world and Olympic medals, we can talk about his world championship in 1995, but we have to go back to the 1993 World Championships where he lost to the Cuban by a point. And the reason he lost is because he thought too much about winning and losing. He came back to the United States and decided to battle. He decided to fight. And that's what led to the world and Olympic medals that we're talking about today.
Dennis Hall had arguably one of the best 3-year stretches in U.S. Greco-Roman history. In 1994, 95, and 96, he went bronze, gold, silver at the World and Olympic Games. And he's withstood the test of time, wrestling in 3 separate Olympics in 1992, 1996, and 2004. All in all, Dennis Hall wrestled in 9 World and Olympic Championships.
Another important part, a conversation he had with his father-in-law. He challenged Dennis and said, "How are you going to provide for my family if you aren't winning championships?" That was a trigger point for Dennis Hall. From that point going forward, it was about something more than winning or losing. He put it all on the line every single time he was on the wrestling.
Christy Davis blazed a trail through wrestling and stood the test of time. From 1996 to 2006, Davis won 9 world medals, 2 gold, 4 silver, and 3 bronze.
That's Christy Davis for you. She is a pioneer for women's wrestling. No one's done it quite like Christy Davis.
Christy had a little bit different path through wrestling than a lot of people. She, at somewhat of a young age, went on the world scene and was winning world titles and lots of medals. And then later on in her 30s, she went to Oklahoma City University and won 2 WCWA national titles. She became just the 2nd woman to be inducted to the National Wrestling Hall of Fame. You want to talk about late bloomer? John Peterson is the epitome of late bloomer. In 1971, he was 5th place at the NAI National Championships. Just a few short months later, he found his way onto the world team. A year after that, 1972, he was silver in the Olympics. And you might be thinking to yourself, how the heck did this happen? 2 words, Dan Gable. John's younger brother, Ben, went to Iowa State and wrestled with Gable. So right after John finished his college career, he moved to Ames, trained with Gable, trained with his brother, and that's all he needed to get physically and mentally ready to believe he was able to do it. 4 years later, 1976, John Peterson wins a gold medal at the Olympics. All in all, he was a 6-time world and Olympic team member, bringing home 4 medals.
John Peterson's rise to greatness doesn't make sense. So much so that John Peterson can't explain how it makes sense. Take the 1972 Olympics. He and his brother Ben have to decide who's going to wrestle at 82 kilograms. They went behind closed doors, had a wrestle off, and John actually won against his younger brother Ben. John gets silver, Ben gets gold. John goes on to win a gold medal at the 1976 Olympics. Bill Farrell, the 1972 Olympic coach, said it best. John wasn't improving by the day, he wasn't improving by the hour, he was improving by the minute. John Peterson's story is something we can all learn from.
That's it for this round. Stay tuned next week to see who makes the cut.